So, hello guys, and welcome to another episode of Diverse Dialogues with Arjun. Um, so, couple of things. Happy New Year. I haven't been active much in the podcasting thingy since January or December. I don't remember when I last put the episode. And so today I was just thinking of recording another episode like after a long time, and I was just figuring out the logistics and everything and as to how I can do it. So I thought that just to change things up, I'll go thoda sa international. And so for that, I have someone who's very close to me, someone who's like a brother to me. And I think um, he's very closely associated in my life for like the past 2 3 years. And I don't think that the people who know me needs that much of an introduction about this guy, and I think he can give it better for himself. And so let me invite Darell Reuben Pinto onto the show. What
Hello,
is up?
Arjun.
What is up? What is up?
Everything's good, man. How you doing?
साले accent कैसे आ गया भाई?
Ah, you want
हाँ.
international, so I'm taking an international accent, man.
Oh, अच्छा अच्छा. Okay, okay. Hmm. So how's it going, man? So for all of the listeners out there, can we have like a little introduction about you?
Okay, so of course, my name is Darell Reuben Pinto. Right now, I'm in Germany. I'm pursuing my master's in mathematics in data and tech. So it's like AI and machine learning and everything. So I used to be in Christ for 3 years, and I met Arjun there through CMS, which was the choir group. And honestly, like he said, at first we were just acquaintances. We just met and we just talked. But over time, we joined a band. We sang songs, and over time, we have grown to be brothers, and we have grown to grow more than just acquaintances. And honestly, he's been a big part of my life in my last third year, and I was going through a lot. And I really appreciate him and a lot of my other friends for that. But mainly, I would like to say that Arjun, yes, you are like a brother to me. And but yeah, that's a short introduction of me. When he said he was going international, he did not mean international person, just a friend who's gone international. But yeah,
All right, that was very sweet. Such a good introduction. And today we are just talking a little bit about music, maybe, and how much music is involved in our lives, like both independently as well and together also as a band. So, for those of you who do not know, I am a part of a band called Pain Protocol. We are a progressive rock band based out of Delhi NCR, and we've been in the field for around 3 years now, if I'm not wrong. And so basically, Darell is also a vocalist in the band, and he's also the rhythm guitarist. And we call him Chalta Firta Gary Moore because he's such a legend at what he does. And uh, like we've had like a couple of shows and performances and competitions, and uh, there is something called the quality of a musician and the quality of a guitarist. And when you look at the way Darell performs and look at the way he prepares for like a show, suppose there is a song that we are making a cover of for the show, and we tell that Darell, prepare a patch for your guitar for this song, and we'll be performing this. Like 1 week before even the practice starts, Darell Reuben Pinto will be ready with the perfect, like the most accurate patch of that song. And it's just such a joy to see some people do so good at what they love. And that is something that I've always appreciated and absolutely loved about Darell. And he's just very into whatever he does, right? He's uh, if it's hanging out, or even if it's a good conversation, or even if it's talking about music, or even practicing together or jamming together, he's just all there. And it's just something that is very rare in people that we see, like even now or Pele or whatever it is. But then Daryl is that one person who's been so consistent with the music he performs and the music he prepares, and he definitely has come a long way from not having a beard and then to finally having a German beard. I wouldn't call this much of a German beard. I think this is a Rohini. This is a Rohini beard. Yeah, this is a Rohini beard. Yeah, so I think the point of this short recording was just like, I just wanted to discuss with him about music in general. Like, I wanted to know ki how much music has contributed to things in your life and how much has it influenced you and how music began in your life and all of that. But then to start with this discussion, I just wanted to ask, what is your earliest memory of listening to a song or jamming, or do you remember your earliest interactions with music?
So I would tell you one thing. My parents were musicians, right? My family was a musician, so they used to perform a lot.
Oh,
So before I was even born, like when my mother was carrying me, she used to perform at shows. My dad was a DJ, my mom was the singer and the keyboardist, and my mama used to also be the sound engineer of the entire thing. So whenever they used to perform shows, I would be in there enjoying my time listening to my mom sing and all that. So from then, from there itself, my music was a big part of my life. And my mama, which is my mom's brother, his name is Austin. So he he was very much into all kinds of old school music, 70s, 80s. You know, the times when music was starting to get into rock and pop and everything. So he used to listen to a lot of ABBA at that time, if you know the band. ABBA, he used to listen to a lot. So he started me out with ABBA, and then he transitioned me into Michael Jackson. My mom used to love songs of John Mayer. She likes John Mayer right now. So you know the type of uh, genres she likes. So music, as a sense, like there's no specific starting point which I remember. Like, okay, I started listening to music because ever since I was an infant child, I've seen my family perform. I've seen my dad perform as a DJ. I've seen my mom perform as a singer, as an artist. So for me, music is has a very strong sense of like it's been built inside of me. It's not just been a part of me. It's not like just like a small hobby for me. So nowadays, like I do not go at least even a one day without music. There is not. I do not remember a single day that I've not gone without music. Every day, if you listen to my Spotify, it's always open. The moment I wake up, one thing I after coming to Germany, the one thing I do, I wake up. I don't know when, I just wake up. I open my laptop, I open Spotify, I put on some good music, Daft Punk or something, just for the chill morning vibe. Like so music in a sense has deep root, and it's not just like I like a specific genre. I don't like just certain music. I like all kinds of genre. If a music sounds good to me, I like it. If it connects with me lyrically, I like it. If it just sounds good, if the beat is good, lyrics are shit, I like it. It's fine. So yeah, music means a lot to me because it's it's gotten me through a lot as a sometimes people cope in different ways, right? When they're going through hard times over life. Music has helped me in that sense a lot. So yeah, I would say that I don't remember earliest recording, but yeah, I would say that music has been with me for a very long time. So that's one thing I would say. But yeah, Arjun.
damn. Even I did not know that your parents were musicians. Yeah, so I mean, kudos to creating the next Getting Over band. Yeah, kudos to them. Yeah. Now I just want to ask you, um, how has been your experience with the Christ Music Society, which is the choir team of our college? And I think starting from the first year itself, we were really into it. And I think freshly when we come into college, we are the sort of people who are like, we want to achieve a lot of things. And I remember me in my first year where we have this intra college fest or a competition that happens, which is called Darpan over here. So I remember this was in 2022, and September or August of 22, and I got the list of the competitions that were there. And for music specifically, there were like six competitions or something, six or five, I don't remember. And I remember me enrolling into all of them, because then the registration fee, I remember me enrolling into all of the competitions, right? And we had the Western group, we had some Indian something, we had the a cappella, and we also had Indian solo, Indian classical solo, and yeah, I think one more. I don't remember. And the day of the event, right? So we had the practice and everything. We had a mentor back in the first year who like introduced us as a group. And even though the performance was really shit as a group, I remember we sang Believer as an a cappella piece. So we saw like all of these YouTube videos, and then I was like really into this. Okay, I'm like, I have to do good. I have to do good. Like, this is my time to shine and all of that. And combined with my passion for music, and this is like freshly out of the whole COVID era, right? So we were all in our homes for like two fucking long years, and all of us had like different journeys. And for me, it was like a long time where I was just suppressed in a way. Like, I wanted social interaction, I wanted to perform, I wanted to explore new music, and coming into a new part of the country. Like, I've never come to Delhi NCR or northern region for that matter. So when I came here, I just felt like, okay, music could be a strong suit where I can meet people. And I just remember me uh, performing all of those things. I think I performed in like five of the six competitions or something like that. I think one of them I had to let go because I was very tired or sick or something. And for like the longest time, just before any of my competitions or events for that matter, my throat used to just go off. Like, it just used to shut down. And then finally, on the day of the event, I remember for the Indian solo performance, I had decided to sing the song called Kesariya, which is from the movie Brahmastra, if you remember that. And I was just practicing Kesariya, and that was on like the correct pitch. It's a bit on the higher scale because obviously Arijit Singh. Yeah. And our common friend Arjun was the guitarist that day, so he was performing for me, and then we started singing, and my voice just shifted one octave down when I started to sing. So what was supposed to be here, I was just sounding like I was in some podcast or something. And thankfully it was still like a music performance, but then it was so bad. It was so bad because my vocals just got shut down. Obviously, I did not want that because this is my pitch, right? So so I'm just singing, and I can see disappointed people like right there in front of me. I remember, I think the choir conductor was also there, Rubel sir. And I just remember like everyone were like very shocked because my team members were also there. And they were just like, wait, what happened to Arjun? Like, he was singing fine, like he was doing all good till the morning, and then suddenly came to stage, and what happened? And this is like 7 or 8 o'clock or something after all of the competitions ended, right? And I remember our auditorium is in the fourth floor, right? So I remember me walking out of the auditorium. There was a classroom opposite, which was sort of like the room for the members to get ready. And I just remember me sitting there amongst all of the group members in the last bench. And I'm just sitting very silently. And I can feel the adrenaline like going down, because once you're performing for like the long time in the day, your adrenaline is just like pumped up because you're performing, you're seeing people, you're singing in front of people, all of that. And um, I just came downstairs, and then I was just sitting on the staircase, and I just started to cry. I had a major breakdown in the staircase. I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing, I don't know what happened, and all of that. And I think Reva came to meet me, and our mentor also at that time. He he was my senior at that time. He was my super senior. So this guy is just like, Arjun, what happened? Like, are you okay? And all of that. And just like, I don't know. So I'm just bawling my eyes out at this moment. And I just remember how much I made myself tired because I wanted to achieve all of these things. And when it was not up to the level I wanted, or it was a very mixed experience performing at that time. So it just made me very tired and very much like, is this something that I should be doing actually? And I think that is like one of my major points of music when coming to college. So yeah, this is a story that you didn't ask, and I blurted it out. Yeah.
I mean, I got to know that you cried
Acha.
before you
I mean,
performed.
I don't think that's the first time you've seen me cry or you've heard me crying.
But nah,
Mm,
man. I mean,
mm,
I understand that. I understand that. You know why?
mm.
I think um, this is a very popular case of burnout. Simply, you try to do everything because you know you can do it. You thought like, okay, I can do it because I want to do it. I want to achieve all these things. And then you said, okay, I did one thing, let's go. Did the second thing, let's go. You're not you feeling adrenaline, like, okay, I'm just going to do it. That's motivation. Then you do the third thing, you do the fourth thing. By the fifth competition, you just felt that burnout. That burnout hit you like, nah, not this time. You're not listening to your body. But it's no, it's fine because music is something that, okay, you have to take, yeah, it's a process, right? You need to take it slowly. So I understand because I only did a cappella. I did not do any of the single competitions. I was like, for me, I was like, I need to perform in a group. I cannot do it alone. I get stage fright. I knew I was going to get stage fright. I don't want that shit. So I was like, nah. But I understand because you at least tried your best. So you don't put yourself off for it. You tried your best. You gave your best. So even if you sang shit, it's still fine. Because if you compare yourself to where you are now to what you were doing then, haven't you seen growth?
Definitely, like 110%.
So no matter what path you take, as long as you see growth and say that okay, what I am today, I'm singing at least much better than yesterday. Or if you're playing instruments, I'm playing at least something better than yesterday. I've learned something better than yesterday. That's more than enough. It doesn't matter if you do 500 competitions or one competition. That's all that matters. And at least you tried your best. So in your first year, coming straight out of that comfort zone of living in COVID, going for all these competitions and being able to do all of them, and even going on stage and singing, even though you sang with the deaf ass note one octave down. I know you sang with confidence, I think, even though yeah, you sang it with
Definitely,
confidence at
definitely.
least.
Uh-huh.
That adrenaline is there.
Yeah, yeah,
It's a fight or flight response. You sing or you don't sing. You sang, so I'm sure you sang well, even
mm,
if it's in a deaf, but it's fine. You gave it your best. So that's all
yeah.
it is, man.
Mm.
Because I remember I did a cappella with our common friend, Ashwin, who was the
Mhm.
bassist. I think, did he play guitar for you or did he play bass for you?
He played the guitar for
Ashwin.
me that day.
Yeah, yeah. So, but no, I mean, yeah, I remember I performed with Ashwin on my first year as in a cappella group. It was the Crescent Dudes. It was a very fucking shit name, man. What is the name? Crescent Dudes. And that time I'm not even like, hey, let's do Crescent Dudes. I'm like, okay, Crescent Dudes, let's go. So I also remember one random thing. My first audition to serve. I'm very nervous. Actually, no, I'm not nervous. I just knew I was going to get selected. Why am I saying I'm nervous? I had that confidence in me, that not even overconfidence like I have. I had that confidence that okay, yeah, I just know I sing well. I'm going to get selected. I had a song prepared. I knew what I was going to sing. I sang "Your Man" by Josh Turner. I sang it, and I saw a smile appear on our conductor's face, and he's like, "Okay, that's nice." And then I sang one more song. I don't remember which one, but he basically then gave us the scales, to check how much high we can go, how much low we can go. I was able to go very low, at least A1. I don't remember, but A1 I at least tried to hit, or C1 I tried to hit. So he said like, okay, that's good, thank you so much, and done. We get the results. I saw everybody in the list. There's at least like different people on tenors and all that. I'm the only guy who's labeled bass. Everybody else is baritone. Even Harsh, one of my good friends in the bass section, he's also baritone. I'm the only guy with capital bass, and I'm like, damn, I am that goated, man. I mean, I mean, the only guy who was able to sing the bass. Oh man, that was a good feeling back then.
And that brought me back to the recent show that we had at Depot 48, which is a cafe in Delhi. And you performed the famous song, Still Got the Blues. So, yeah, so that just brought me back to that. Oh my God, it is such a magnetic performance. That would be the smallest compliment that I could say that is in my head right now. Because I just remember just standing beside you or something. And we had this thing planned where I was showing, like, because I'm the singer over there, I was like, I'll try to show that I'm gonna sing it. And then it cuts to you. So yeah, that was like a very interesting thing that we planned. And then, oh man, that performance was very magnetic. Like it still goes in loops in my head at times. And I'm not kidding. And oh man, like I could see a lot of people just drawn towards that performance, right? You can see a
Mm,
person perform, and there is this thing called catching the crowd's attention. And man, I could see that in you from left to right, top to bottom, in every angle. I could see the crowd just getting swayed by whatever you were singing. And like, it is something that I really, keep it, I keep it close to my heart, right? And man, that was such a great experience for me. Great experience.
I will tell you something.
Huh.
That was the highest I've ever sang in my life. Half half of the song is in my
Hmm.
falsetto range.
Uh,
So for me, when I'm singing, I'm trying that I put in my grunt voice, right?
mm-hmm,
That grunt and grunge voice
mm-hmm,
in that high tone. And I'm
yeah.
like, damn, I have to perform. Because I remember you told me that. I remember we just normally discussed this that we're going to perform this song and you were going to sing it. And then I randomly sang it while we were sitting at Isaiah's PG, our guitarist's PG. And the song is playing on the TV, and I just randomly sang it. And we're like, oh, it's good. It sounds good. And then in practices in jam session, they're like, you were like, okay, Darrell, you sing, like, try it out. I'm like, okay, fine. That was so high. Oh my God, man. You know how many times I actually went back home and tried to sing, like, tried to get my tone up to that high level.
Okay. Okay. Hmm.
Like every morning, I would wake up early just to get my voice high. Because whenever I wake up, my voice is like dead low. Like it's low. It's like this is my middle voice right now. In the morning, it's one octave below, and I'm like, damn, how do I sing in this voice? So so yeah, still got the blues, man. I mean, crazy song first of all, and props to Isaiah's guitar, man, crazy. But apart from that song, which thank you for the compliments, that song stuck with me. Yeah, obviously, but there's one song which stuck with me more. I would say Navarasam because yes, I got to hear Cheta's glorious alap for a very long time,
अरे यार.
for a very long time,
uh, uh-huh.
and I'm like, I'm the guy who has to like who has to make the
Yeah,
root
keep the
notes
beat going
of
on.
the
Yeah,
keep
yeah,
the
yeah.
beat going.
Yeah.
So for every alap, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna change this chord. Let's see how he goes. And you caught it perfectly for every change, because whenever I change the chord, there are only two chords. So whenever I change the chord, you're also catching it perfectly and putting in that in the alap sense, not in the Western sense, you know. So it was pretty awesome. And then finally, you also put in the violin section of Navarasam. So it was crazy, man.
Yeah.
That song stuck with me more than Still Got the Blues. Still Got the Blues is obviously a good song,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm the one who sang it, so it did not maybe stick with me that much because for
Makes
me, I
sense.
was able to hear you more clearly in Navarasam. But yeah, that was a good performance, which stuck with me more. That was like
Nice.
great. That was like crazy, man.
Uh,
Especially once the entire thing finished and then we came. Also, I forgot.
yeah, yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm saying sorry right now.
Uh-huh.
But for open car, which you performed at Depot 48, I definitely rushed it.
Definitely, it was very obvious. It was very obvious. Like,
Hey,
I
hey,
just
hey,
remember
let me
me.
say,
हाँ. बोल बोल.
it's not a, It's not my fault.
Uh,
Now, Isaiah is doing the entire drop D part in his strat.
hmm,
Okay.
hmm, hmm, hmm.
Now, and he's pushing it down. He's pushing it down. I'm ready. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna play it very slowly, but I'm
Uh-huh.
also hyped because now people are like, yeah, I'm hyped. And then Isaiah goes onto the mic and says, one, two, three. That's my. I'm like, shit.
Oh shit! I didn't know that. Oh shit!
So I, I caught that beat.
Uh-huh.
I don't remember if he said it because if he sees this and he's gonna be like, I didn't say shit.
Mhm.
But I just remember because we had some like, okay, we're gonna start now. And Isaiah was the main guy, so he's like, he just said one, two, three, four, and I'm like, okay, oh shit, this is the beat I gotta go with now, and I
Mm.
went with that. It sounded good instrumentally. I-
Wait, man! I gotta give it to you. In whatever tempo that you performed, it was definitely twice more than the song. And I just remember, I think we made a rap out of open car. We closed the car totally. It's like
Flying car, man. Flying car.
yeah, we totally fucked up the car, like to the point where we can't use it ever again. And but then it was sounding good. But then it was
I
a good
just
experience because I realized that oh, I could rap also.
I watched the video of you singing. it,
Uh,
it sounded it sounded like a bark of a like,
अरे
man.
यार.
Oh god. And I'm like,
Uh,
I fucked up so bad, man. I mean, I
uh-huh.
rushed the song so bad, and I felt bad.
Mm,
But
mm,
you picked it well. I mean, but then I was going to slow it down.
mhm.
You have to blame Olive. No,
So what, like after the song or something, you were gonna slow it down?
hey, Olive gave the drum beat, man. I can't change it now.
That's obviously. But then, like, I though really liked performing it because I think that is a song that gave the audience also a lot of energy for like the subsequent songs that we had in our set
Yeah,
list.
yeah, yeah.
And I just remember the crowd was going crazy. Like, I think we slow down the tempo, like, it naturally got a bit towards the chorus. So it just started going down, and
Yeah,
then
yeah,
it was a bit more comfortable, like, towards the end, I would say. And again, this is what I am saying, what makes Darell Reuben Pinto who he is. If you listen to the actual song, and if you compare that to the performance that we had, there is a very definite patch that goes on in the background. And it is like 99 percentage, or I would give even 100, because the very minor details, even I wouldn't know. It would be the person who made it. So it's, you obviously would know like
yeah.
the irregularities if there were any. But it definitely, for all of the others in the audience, also the people on the stage, also apart from you, we all really loved it. And there have been conversations about the band, about the performance, even when you were not there, because you used to rush back to your home in Rohini. You were a homesick child. So, so you always had to like rush back. And once in
Yeah.
a while, you would get the permission to camp at our street over there in Ghaziabad. So I just
Hey,
like,
I camped at least 1,000 times, man. It's you're saying it like I literally am a military
तो
child.
सुनना सुन listen to the point that I'm gonna say. So I just remember, like, I remember like a lot of the conversations where like you were not there, and we were
Mm,
talking about how much you put in, right? And how
mm,
much you contributed to that show, and how much you've contributed throughout these years of us performing. And
mm,
it's just a delight to watch you perform, man. Like, it's definitely like a very big core memory of my life. And the band is just very special to the both of us and to all of the members of the band. So it's just been so much fun, so much fun to watch you perform. And I definitely do miss it, man. Definitely do miss it.
and I miss it.
Mm.
I it was the most random thing because I remember Vinayak asked me randomly asked me like, do you wanna come into the band and perform? You know, he's like, I'm like, okay. I want to perform. I want to be in a band. My dream is to be in a band and perform because I'm a guitarist. There's no point in me being a guitarist if I don't perform in a band. There are individual guitarists, but for me, my dream was to be in a band. I was like, yes. And I heard, and Vinayak had this rough draft of Akarki on his phone, and he was like, "This is the song. Just listen to it." And I heard it for the first, and I'm like, "Wow, what a song, man!" That was the start of the journey, and we've been through a lot. Honestly, we've been through so much together, and even apart individually, we've been through so much. And but I've seen, and I'm happy to say that I've grown as a person and as a musician with the band. As a like guitarist, I've grown more with the band than I would have ever anywhere else, honestly, because Pain Protocol is also a part of my life. Even though I'm international now, sorry, but yeah, Pain Protocol is going to be a part of my life no matter what. And I hope and pray that I hope and pray that this band makes it big someday, some way. I hope that it at least hits that point that yeah, I used to be a part of that band. I used to play in this band, and like people will be like, "Damn, like this band is." I want people to know that Pain Protocol is going places, and I hope it will because we have all worked very hard for it, and it was always a delight to perform with Chata, Dua, Isaiah, Joshua, and Olive, and of course the previous members as well. It was a delight to perform with them all, and I would do it all over again given the choice, all over again, every single time. So yeah, thanks. It was so fun memories we have made, not just in like the practice sessions, but even after that, going just staying over at friends' place and just talking about music, talking about like what we're gonna do, creating random music when we're not performing, when we're not practicing, just creating random stuff on the guitar, and then everybody else joins in, and then we sing. And so that chemistry with the band, it was very rare to be found in a lot of places. So we had that chemistry, and I'm glad that Vinayak came that day to ask me, like, okay, do you want to be part of Paint Protocol? I'm glad that happened.
Mhm.
So, yeah.
Damn. It'll
It
definitely
was,
take like more than a minute for me to process all of the things that you've said. And I think talking more and more about the band just makes all of us just reminisce all of the great times that we've had together as a bunch of
um,
6 or 7 or 8 people. And like there have been people who've had to like step out of the band, take a step back from the whole system and whatever be it. And, wherever life has taken us, I think for all of us who are in this band, and I think I can speak for like all of us over here, I think band has definitely improved the sheer quality of life, right?
yeah,
It just definitely has improved our creative juices. It has definitely made us juice out more lyrics and more music and more patches and whatnot.
I think I forgot to mention Dua in the members of the band because she came in while late,
Hmm.
but she's had the most impact as well on the band. And her chemistry with the band, even though she's a junior, her chemistry with the band is unreal and unmatched, I would say. That's true. So just a shout out to Dua as well and all the members of the band. So yeah, she always speaks her mind, man. Always speaks her mind. Shout out to Dua.
Yeah, she's like, I don't care if there is any filter. I'll just remove it. I'll just go straight for the
Ah,
buck. There have been many times where we slack off between practices, right? And when it comes to being in college and practicing in the jam room of our college, there is always a time crunch, right? Because you
mm-hmm.
only get the slot for like an hour or something. And it's
Yeah,
very difficult to get all of the members to come for the jam in the first place because all of us have different courses and the timings are very different. Like someone gets free by 1, someone gets free by 5, someone gets free by
yeah, yeah,
3
yeah.
or 2 or whatever. And it was very difficult to get all of us together in the same place. But
Yeah,
then
yeah, that's
thankfully
true,
we
man.
got the slot, and between the practices we used to slack a lot. So I just remember this one incident where Dua just took the mic and she told it in Hindi, but then I'm just translating it loosely. So roughly she meant that, what are we doing here? Aren't we here for practice? So just cut off from the bullshit and just get to the practice, right? And she just said this because Dua was handling the a cappella team also then, and also the band. So she was rushing in between. And when she used to get the breaks from the a cappella, she used to come here. And when break used to happen over here, she used to go there. So she had a very tight schedule and she didn't want to fuck around with the time that we had. So I just remember her telling just straight, ki, why are we slacking? Just get back to practice. But then, yeah, she's been a big force for all of us. And
Yeah.
Dua and the band boys will always be there.
One more person I forgot. There's so many people, man.
Yeah.
How can we forget our glorious leader, ex social media manager, Miss Reva Kesarwani, leader?
Mm.
Oh my, she has got simple goat. She
Mhm.
has many. I've asked her for, like, tea when I don't have money, because Ashwin usually gets food from Reva a lot. I don't know how. I don't know how Reva has so much money, man. But she has a lot of money. I know Reva has a lot of money. I'm talking to you, Reva. But yeah, but I remember one thing. When we were in third year, and I was going through some stuff, personal stuff. So I wanted to take a break from CMS because now I was wanting to focus more on my studies and all that. So but Reva was so chill about it, and as a leader, she was like, "Okay, you can just chill out. There's no need to rush it. Go take a break." I took a very long break, but when I came back, I was obviously like, she was like, "Come now, you have to do practice now. Let's go." But very chill leader. Third year, we had the chillest leaders, that's for sure. Reva, Ankita, Isaiah, Olive, best.
Definitely, definitely. I think them being the leaders and like for us, it's a very surreal thing, right? Ki it's our friends who are the leaders. So we get to utilize that freedom as well, but we can't fuck up with that also. So it's like a fine balance. It's a very weird balance. But then we made most of what we had. I think third year is like a year where we had to also think about our studies once again. Like we had a break in between. I mean, I can't
Oh,
speak for the both of us, but then possibly you might have also had phases where you were like kind of away from studies for like a bit because you wanted to explore college life. And I just remember uh, in the third year, I think music grew a lot more in me because Reva was there as a leader, because Ankita was there, even though I was not that close to Ankita back then. So I just remember like musically how rich my life got in the third year. And I decided to leave the choir in the third year. And it is Reva that literally pulled me back into the choir. She was like, just come for practices once in a while. Just, be in that flow. And I think that she, as a leader and she, as a friend, literally helped me a lot. And she motivated me to, try to come back to the choir.
yeah,
And see, this is one of those points where you feel like, are you stuck in life? Like, I think we had this conversation a bit back also off the camera,
yeah,
where we've been talking about the part that no one really talks about, which is uh, like there will be a point in your life where it's just a mundane routine that's going on, right? So it's
mm,
you get up in the morning, you get up late or something, and you, for that matter, travel like 2 hours, 3 hours to reach the college, and then you rush to uh, Ghaziabad in the Delhi metro. So the point that I was getting to was that um, you are in this routine, right? You're traveling to the college, you sit and study there, you might get a lunch break and you hang out a bit with your friends. And then you're in the classroom, you talk, you study, you focus on the class, or you sleep, or whatever it is. And then you come out of the college and you are in your room, and
yeah,
or you're traveling back. And that routine sort of catches up on you. Like it just sort of tries to pull you back. And even though studies are going, even though music is going, even though life is going, but then it's just going, right? It's just
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
it's just a loop of day in, day out, day in, day out, day in, day out. And I think especially in my fourth year right now, I am experiencing that fact even more, because for me, I have like a couple of things that I've planned, that I've discussed with you
Mm,
also about my future plans. And to get to that point right now, all the time there is for me to literally get away from everything and just focus on my studies and my internship which is
mm,
going on. So it's just like day in, day out, you put in the work, you put in the hours. Legendary words by The Rock. But then, you know, you are in that routine where you feel
yeah.
sometimes like, am I just going on a loop? And I have this surreal experience at times when I get down from a metro at Anand Vihar and I'm exiting it. I can just see like thousands of people who are rushing down,
Hmm. Yeah,
and you see
I know, I know.
thousands of thousands of heads like just popping niche, 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 niche. You can just see a lot of heavy bags. You can just see a lot of heavy dreams. You can see a lot of heads that are down, basically. And okay, one time, two time, you might be like, I mean, this is just part of life. But then there
Mm-hmm.
also comes a time where you are like, am I just going to be stuck in this loop? Am I just going to be in this rat race where I do not know what is the end point? I mean, I know for that matter, but then on a daily basis, you actually do not know, right? There are
Mm.
things that you have to do and there are things that you have to get to. But
Yeah,
then
yeah, yeah.
that loop just catches up on you. The part where things are mundane, the part where life is not that exciting,
Mm.
and you just have to keep working. So, so I think in my third year also had sort of that phase where I'm like, what am I doing with
Mm-hmm.
life? Because I had my other commitments and I was like, should I leave music? Because I think 2 years down the line, you've performed like quite a couple of shows. You've gathered a few friends from the choir and you get sort of saturated. And I want to know your perspective on this also, as like after I finish
Yeah,
this
yeah.
stream of thought. And it's just that music and college and all of the other things, basically just college just drains you in ways more than one. And it's not to say that the college was bad. uh, Shout out
That's nice.
to yes, it's not to say that the college was bad, but
Mm.
uh, it was bad in like a lot of ways for us personally in figuring out life or whatever. So
Yeah.
I think coming back to CMS, because these four were the leaders: Reva,
Mm.
Ankita, Isaiah, and Olive. And these people, even though we were not that close to all of them, but they were our batch. They were our people. Like we knew them more than the others
Yeah.
or the yester leaders. I think there is this one factor of closeness and comfort that brings us back
Mm-hmm.
to music. So I just want to know your perspective on how life gets mundane for you, or how much you think about yourself when you are in that routine. And
Mm.
if music brings back some life into you, or do you get drained of music also? So, how is that process like for you?
One thing I would say, like, you can leave music, but music won't leave you. So, no matter what, you can leave music and be like, I don't want to do it anymore. But music will always stay with you. It's gonna stay in your heart. It's gonna stay like whatever you've learned, whatever you've heard, whatever you've experienced with music. It's gonna stay with you. And for me, I've never felt music to be draining. Certain songs don't match my mood, obviously, and I just change the genre. I'm like, nah, I don't want to listen to an upbeat playlist right now. I'm very sad. I want to listen to some sad songs. So whatever matches my mood, I just listen to it. But sometimes I'm like, okay, I just need some quiet peace. Music is not music is not like literally I want to listen 24/7. So, and of course the mundane routine of waking up at, gosh. I remember waking up at 5:30 just to reach the college at 8:30, man. Worst days of my life. One time, my first day, I got late for my first class, and it was like after the orientation and everything. It was the first statistics class, and we had this teacher. I won't say her name, but it was statistics, and I got 2 minutes late, and I'm not used to waking up this early. Not even for my school, I woke this early. I got up, came to travel 2 hours, reached the college. I went to and my class on the first day was on the sixth floor of A block. The elevator went to fifth floor, and I'm like, wait, sixth floor? I'm inside the elevator, and I'm literally asking people like, is there a sixth floor? They don't even know. They're also first year.
Mhm.
So I'm like, sixth floor. Okay, I went to fifth floor, and I look, there's a staircase going up. I'm like, are they going to teach us in a warehouse or something? What? I went up, and they're like, okay, the class is there. I tried to go inside the class. Teacher was like, no, get out. 2 minutes late, get out. I'm like, I legit saw the future of my 3 years of how it's going to be. And man, that mundane routine, it's not something I wanted to do, but of course it's something I have to do. People have to do certain shit, whether you like it or not. It's just it's a certain way to live. And honestly, if you don't want to do it, there's no point in complaining. You can complain, of course, you have every right to complain. But there are people when I notice that there are people who are going through much worse than me, much worse than me, and they're still doing it without even uttering a single word, and they're doing it with their fullest ability. Like they wake up earlier than me, or they're doing they're doing jobs, they're doing college, and they're handling their families' expense. There are people, 8 billion people in the world. There is somebody who's much worse off than you. So that mundane routine doesn't seem mundane to you anymore. It just seems like a privilege that, okay, what my routine is, some people die to be like, okay, I want that kind of routine. I want to just wake up at this time just to go for college instead of waking up at this time to go for work, or like, doing like a construction job or doing some odd jobs. I want to study. So, of course, whenever I think like that, I was like, okay, studying is a privilege. Being able to go to college is a privilege. Being able to having parents who are willing to spend on you, who are willing to invest on you is a privilege. If you notice like how many parents just discard their children as well. So the mundane routine is like, yeah, it's mundane. It's so what? It's life. Life isn't meant to be exciting all the time. Life is meant to have an up and down phase. It's meant to be exciting at one point, then mundane. If it was exciting every time, then that would be the new mundane. Like if you can't have an exciting life all that. You can't go to the hills and stay there 24/7, can you? No, right? You live a mundane routine for 2 3 months. You study all the time, and then you like, let's go to Shimla, let's go to the hills. That's exciting. That feels more exciting because now you've suffered that point of having studied so much. You're brain dead. You're you're like, I just want to let loose, and then you see the hills with the foot. That's exciting. That's life. So the mundane routine is a necessity to have. And of course, when you talked about that train situation, right? All the people with their head down and all, with all their dreams. Uh, it's true. It's true that some people have dreams which they wish to accomplish, but they can't because of either it's pressure, either it's they have to take care of their family, either it's like they cannot do it because they're scared. But I strongly believe that anybody can do anything in life. We just need to take that leap of faith that, okay, if I'm going to do this, I need to sacrifice certain stuff. So like the more greatness you achieve, the more you sacrifice. That's very obvious, no matter what anybody says. And I've seen so many people sacrifice time with their loved ones just to reach that point of, okay, individually, I have reached a very high point in my life, right? Because in Western culture, like we talk with off camera, it's very individualistic. Eastern culture is very community strong. So, of course, so some people are like that. It depends on everything. But in all that sense, I've never felt like music. music, because for me personally, music is a very, very, very strong part of my life. I can never not listen to music because, like I said, not a day goes by that I don't open Spotify, I don't open YouTube, and I don't listen to music. Not a day goes by. So it's very important to me. And even if I fall into a mundane routine, I just say mind myself that okay, you're privileged, man. Just make the best of it. No matter what you do, make the best of it. You have a certain goal, at least go towards it. Whether even if it's mundane, even because I think of it like climbing Mount Everest. You can't just like I'm gonna go up this. Nah, it's not that way, man. You have to follow the roads. You have to follow the Sherpas. You have to follow a certain pathway to go and not die, not burn out. You're not burn out, right? Like you said. Uh, so that it's going to be mundane. It's going to be hard. It's going to be very. You have to be persistent about it. But at the end, it's worth it. It's worth it. Studying, studying for a semester instead of studying for 1 week before the exam, it's worth it. 100%. So that's my take on like the mundane life. Not a bad thing. It's just a necessity. And the
Hmm.
way people approach that mundane life matters a lot because your thoughts, there's this quote, the color of your thoughts dye your soul. So the color of what you think makes what your soul is going to look like. So whatever you think, if I think like, oh man, this is so bad, I don't like waking up. If you keep thinking like that, your body automatically is going to be all the time tired in the morning. But if you wake up and be like, it's a good day, let's go, your body is automatically going to adjust. Your mind will adjust like, okay, time to wake up, time to get after it, time to like go. So that's just my like small take on this, man. It's not much. I don't like to overthink because once I overthink, then it's like, oh man, there's so much. So I just stop myself before that happens and be like, I'm just a human being, man. What can I do? Individually, I do what best I can for myself, for my loved ones, for my family, for my friends, and that's all. So the mundane part is like necessary, man.
Damn, that's profound, man. It really feels like a new perspective or a
Yeah.
fresher outlook that even I could imbibe or the people listening could imbibe in a way because most of the people, for them, the other grass is always greener. And
Huh.
uh, in that being said, whatever you said, right, of people doing all of that because it is a necessity. And that is true. It's not like all of these people that I see on a regular basis. Also, it's not like they don't have dreams. It's not
Yeah.
like they don't have places to be. But it definitely gets limiting to them, and they literally have to go through this day in day out.
Yeah.
And such is life. Such is life.
Such a life. Such
Yeah.
is life, man.
Yeah. But then, thank you so much for that, like, very beautiful explanation that you gave. It just shows a lot more of maturity and a lot more of experiences. It's like a stone gets shaped, right? If it's in the
Yeah.
river, right? Uh, I am probably butchering this whole explanation, but then
Nah,
it said
you're
that
doing
there's a
good, man.
sharp
You're
rock
doing
that's
good.
there in the river and the water is flowing. So along
Yeah.
with that flow of water, the I'm gonna cut this part out.
No, though listen, you're
Yeah. So
correct. Like the
yeah.
the environment shapes the person, like how a river
Mm.
over time shapes a rock, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
how valleys are formed in the Grand Canyon,
Hmm.
or a water cuts a rock over time, over millions of years, right?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
obvious. So you're correct.
Hmm.
That's right.
Hmm.
The environment I was raised in,
Hmm.
I tried to be mature. I tried to act like an adult when I
Yeah.
was when I was very young. I don't know why. I just wanted to act like an adult. So I would mainly just instead of talking like an adult, I would just observe. I would just sit and observe people. That's my favorite thing to do.
Hmm.
I'm not very social. I just like to whenever adults are talking, I just like to sit and observe because one interesting thing I've seen. I'm sure in India, in every Eastern family, or at least in a joint community family, right? you always see when the entire family finally gets together and they sit down, there is always some conflict. Some uncle, some auntie hates each other and they're like, okay, yeah, why? And they fight and everything. And I used to sit back and think like, they're fighting like children, man. They're fighting with such mundane issues and they're supposed to be elder to me. They're supposed to be more mature than me. And yet they're fighting like little children. And I'm like, wow. So this was when I was like 12 to 14 years old. I don't remember how old I was, but I was very young. And I was like, wow, like these are my adults. These are adults. These are 30, 40-year-old adults arguing about the food, arguing about like what you did 10 years ago. And like, yeah, man. So I don't call myself mature. No, I'm not mature. I'm not mature
Hmm.
yet.
Okay.
Maturity doesn't come with age. Even a 50-year-old person can be immature. Maturity just comes with experiences and like how you take those experiences in a way that, okay, I went to this experience, I learned something instead of saying like, I went to this experience, I didn't learn anything. I don't want to learn this now. So I wouldn't call myself mature in a way because I have so much yet to learn. And I hope that at least I still have an open mind about everything I go through in the future because that's more important in life. Having an open mind about anything because there's always going to be conflict no matter what you do. People will not agree with you. People will say that okay, you are wrong. That's fine. That's fine. I don't say anything. I'm like okay, you are right. Enjoy your life, and that's it, man. I mean, thank you
Hmm.
for telling me that because I also love your worldview on everything, and everybody is going through different struggles personally. So yeah, it's like nice to see like I'm not the only one going through stuff like that.
Hmm. Definitely. I mean, many a times where we feel like our life is gray, and at that point, we tend to see the world also around us as gray. So, whatever we see and whatever the experiences that a person has in that gray phase, all they see are bleak things around them, right?
Oh yeah.
And when your life is so gray, you feel like everything around you is gray. The people that you observe, you kind of tend to notice the gray shades
Yeah,
in
yeah.
them. And whilst all of those stuff is happening, for someone like you who's literally struggled to reach college and build yourself up and now go to another country, fresh start and new perspectives, new friends, and even when all of those stuff is happening around you, it's really nice that you sort of count your blessings in a way,
Oh
right?
yeah.
You count your blessings and you definitely do uh, empathize with the fact that there are people with a lot of struggles. So it's definitely a pleasure to hear you talk. And I feel like you going into Germany also has definitely influenced you in a good way. And you're reaching places, you're accomplishing things, and I'm very proud of you for that. And before we wind up this episode, I would like to bring you to a small segment that I had very instinctively planned in my head. The 321 recommendations brought to you by Diverse Dialogues with Arjun. So basically, in this segment, we are going to give three music or album recommendations, two movie, TV show, YouTube video, those sort
Mm.
of recommendations, and one interesting tool that improves your life or a very quirky website or something that you saw online that made you feel like, damn, that's interesting. I'm sorry to put you in a spot, but fuck it, because that's how we do it. Presenting to you the 3 to 1 recommendation series featuring Darell Reuben Pinto. So, coming to the three music slash album recommendations. What have you got, man?
Um, One album I would definitely recommend is Laterals by Tool. That's for sure. That's for sure. That's one. I have to check because I've not listened to albums for a long time.
It need not necessarily be just albums, it can be songs also.
Oh, it can be songs.
Yeah.
Well, now you have really put me in a spot because I listen to genres of right. Hold on.
Hmm.
So one is definitely an album by Tool,
Okay.
and the other is Random Access Memories by Daft Punk. That's for
Hmm.
sure.
The
That's
OG.
one of my favorite albums.
Yeah.
And the third album I would recommend, hmm, I've done electronic music, I've done rock. I can only recommend, oh yeah, Shoot Shot Me by Eminem. Eminem is Eminem, man. He's the goat. I can recommend Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole, but Eminem is the goat for me. So
Okay.
yeah, that's three. There's three music recommendations.
And now next are two YouTube videos slash TV series slash movie recommendations that you've had.
One TV series, Breaking Bad. The other one is a movie called Good Will Hunting.
Okay. Could you give like a little brief about both?
Breaking Bad is about a professor. uh, Okay, Breaking Bad is basically about a chemistry professor who tries to make money. I,
That's
I,
like the
that,
most
that,
basic.
there's so much happening in it.
But then, yeah, like Breaking Bad, as you very simply put it, it's the story of how a professor in his mundane life of teaching chemistry, how the bro tries to make money.
He tried to change his mundane life to the meth life. Meth
Yeah,
life.
meth life, meth life. Coming forward to Goodwill Hunting, what can you say about that?
Goodwill Hunting is about like um a janitor, right? Now he's a math genius, but he doesn't know it himself. So our teacher tries to help this kid in a way that, okay, you know what, I want to help you out. And the kid is like the janitor basically. He works as a janitor. So he basically just solves a puzzle which is on a hallway, which is meant for students. He solves it. And then some teacher randomly comes and he's like, "What are you doing to the board?" Because he's janitor. He's like, "What are you doing?" And he runs away. And then the teacher sees the puzzle on the board and it's entirely solved. And he's like, "Wow." So the story is about like how that kid learns to utilize his strengths, and at the end he moves out of his mundane life of like living in a very shit place, and also he basically learns to do that. He basically says like, I'm going to take this step in my life and I'm going to make myself better. So I would,
Yeah,
it's been a long time since I watched it, so I can only remember the basics, but I would definitely recommend a watch. Matt Damon and Ben Affleck.
the OGs, the legendary.
Now,
Yeah.
Robin Williams, oh my God.
Oh my God. Yeah. You can go on and on and on about the man that he was.
Oh, Captain,
And
my Captain will be
yeah,
missed.
definitely. Matt Damon initially created this whole story for his thesis project or something.
Yeah,
And cut to him realizing that, okay, this is something that I can work on ahead. He presented this story to Ben Affleck. And I think it was Ben only who suggested that let's take it forward. Let's go all in and let's try to create a movie. So
yeah,
basically, most of the scenes that were there, especially towards the first half of the movie, many of the scenes which were there, it is actually what he actually wrote back in his college. And
yeah.
it is the movie that got them their first Oscar also. And I think it's one of the favorite movies for me as well. I watched it 1 or 2 years back, and I just remember me just bawling my eyes out at the end. But then, yeah, it was definitely a good recommendation also. So
Oh, yeah.
now we've done the music, we've done the shows and the movies, which brings me to the one quirky recommendation or a useful tool or a software, an application or a website that you've used that has immensely helped you, or you feel like, oh, damn, this is very quirky and entertaining. Is there an
Yeah.
interesting tool, software, application, anything in your mind?
So I use this app called Notion, and it's like a productivity app. I'm sure a lot of people will know it and probably use it as well. But I use it because it's I like a modern touch to everything these days. I like a modern touch to my softwares and everything. So Notion itself looks pretty modern and sleek in that sense. Its UI UX is pretty modern. And I use Notion because it helps me keep track of what I'm doing. So I basically make a template of like, okay, I have these many tasks in this week or this month. I have to do this. These are my goals. Or if I have exams, I basically like to keep track of, okay, I have this exam on this day, what I need to study, what are the topics, what are the recommendations and all that professor told me. or if I have like any other small things I need to do, habit trackers, if I'm just journaling, talking about it. So Notion is one app that I use. It's in my laptop, it's in my phone, it's in my tab, and it just keeps track of what I like to do, what I like should be doing. It's like it helps me stay productive. It helps me keep on track. Like, okay, I have these tasks and I need to do this in an orderly fashion. And I need, you know, uh, that's one website. It's not quirky, but it's just productive and it helps me a lot.
It's a
It's a great,
definitely a
great.
great recommendation because I think that in India, not a lot of people know about this. So it's definitely a tool that everyone should use. So with that, we come to the end of this small segment, and we also come to the end of this long ass podcast. If you do not believe it, Daryl, we've been talking for the past 1.5 hours on the camera,
Um,
and like a couple of extra hours like off the camera also we've been talking.
oh shit!
And
I just saw the time.
yeah, I also just saw it right now, which just shows how much we love interacting with each other and how much we love to keep talking. And it's just very entertaining because uh, we just never run out of topics, right? But then yeah, man,
Oh,
Daryl, it's been such a pleasure talking to you.
yeah,
it's
man.
it's it's always a pleasure to watch you and watch you perform and watch you talk. Thank you so much for being a part of this very impromptu recording session that we've had. We've been talking off the camera for like a couple of hours now, like towards from the evening we've been talking on and off.
Yeah.
And I just randomly decided that I will bring Daryl, and I'm happy that I did it actually, because um it would definitely was like a very good conversation for me. And I hope that all of the listeners watching there also enjoyed it as much as I did. And thank you so much, Daryl. And
Mm,
how has your experience been?
amazing. Amazing. Talking with you is always amazing, no matter what, whether it's off the record, obviously much better because I can say shit and not get cancelled about it. But yeah, it's
Uh,
always amazing to talk to a friend, man, especially you.
hmm.
Missy Chata.
Miss you too, man. And on that note, we come to the end of this grand episode or the international episode of Diverse Dialogues with Arjun. Thank you so much, Daryl, for being a part of this. It's definitely a pleasure once more to, talk to you and interact with you. And I can say this with a lot of assurity that this friendship and this conversation and in general, like the moments with you, the moments that I cherish very deeply in my heart. And thank you for being a brother on and off the camera. Thank you for being such a sport. I know that your exams and everything are going on. I fucked up your schedule, but we only focus on the good things for now. And thank you so much for being a part of the show, man. Thank you so much to all of the listeners. If you do not know it yet, Diverse Dialogues with Arjun is available on all of the major audio platforms, including Spotify, YouTube, Ghana, Audible, and much more. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for being a part of the show. And I'll hope to see you guys very soon with another Mazedar episode. I hope. That was very RJ of me. But like, yes. Thank you so much, Daryl. Thank you, everyone. And
Thank you for
goodbye.
having me. Thank you for having me. Goodbye.
Yes. Bye bye.